come back to their homeland, it's going to be redemption, it's going to be only good in the world.
So it represents a redemption, even though you're sending them, chasing them away.
Chasing away means the Jews were sent away, and now they have to go back to Israel. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
So anybody that does that mitzvah has to think about that like we have to be.
You see how beautiful it is? I even didn't know this thing, but every mitzvah that we have all kind of levels. The Kabbalah means that there's all kind of other dimensions. Not always we are aware of them. There's all kind of other dimensions to any mitzvah that is written in the Torah, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful to know it. Okay, 3 places in the Torah it says Torah, wonders. First time about Yosef. Katuv, Yosef Torah Basadeh. He lost his way. He didn't find his way as he was looking for his brothers. Number 2 it says Ki tifga shor oyevcha Torah Basadeh. This is written in our Parashat. Once you're going to see the ox or the sheep of your enemy wanders in the field, Hashev tashivem lo. It's a mitzvah that you're going to return it back to him. Number 3, it says in Mishlei, Adam to'eh miderech hasechel. Adam to'eh miderech hasechel means mentally he's lost. He goes astray. He's becoming far from Judaism. Okay? Let's try to understand it. There's 3 kinds of losses. When somebody loses his money, when somebody loses his body, when somebody loses his soul. Okay? And so a man that lost his sheep, his watch, his car, his whatever object, yeah, it's called he lost money. A man that is lost in the way, he himself is lost, doesn't find the right track again. And the man who lost his soul means he was so distracted, by his friends or his thoughts were not the right way. His emunah, his faith is not so strong, and he's confused and he lost. And so this is the worst loss that could be, because once he gets out from the right path of our mothers and fathers, the Judaism, he goes and browses in strange fields, looks for other beliefs and other things. This is the hardest thing. The Or Chaim says, "Lo tira et shol achicha o et tzeyo nidachim." Sometimes people, they act like ox. Ox represents animals. They act like animals. So in any case, Hashem tashivem, it's our obligation to return them to achicha. Ma ze achicha? He says achicha is like, it's Hashem. Many times it says, Pikhi li achoti rayati. Hashem is like our brother. You see your friend, your fellow Jew wanders, doesn't find the right way, or is not religious, doesn't keep Shabbat, he doesn't send his children to yeshivot, he does mistakes. Could be all kind of reasons, because he himself didn't learn, or because he had the influence of a friend, of his parents, of his whoever it could be. And it's your ability to go and help him. It's your obligation. Hashev tashivem. You have to go and bring them back closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We know that there's a lot of tinokot shenishbu. Ma ze tinok shenishba? It's like children that were captured, captives by enemies, and because they were captured by enemies, they were not raised in a Jewish law, that doesn't know, let's say, how to read and write, doesn't know what Shabbat, don't know what is kashrut, because they didn't have a chance to learn, didn't have a chance to practice this law. So our obligation is to introduce them back to tshuva. Now, not everybody is professional to introduce them to tshuva. Not you can tell her, you have to keep Shabbat, but if you don't know how to tell it to her, she's going to rebel. She's not going to accept it from you. So the Chafetz Chaim says, if you don't know how how to make them, how to introduce them to tshuva. So the same way that Hashem is so careful about the mammon, about the money of Israel, that we have this mitzvah of Hashem Tashivem and all this, definitely we have to take care of the soul, of the neshamot of Am Yisrael. And if you yourself don't know how to do it, so go and help organizations that know how to do it. Go help rabbis that know how to do it. If rabbis want to make Shabbaton, if organizations, they collect money to put kids in yeshivot or to teach them what is kashrut. So this is our obligation to go and help them. Okay, let me tell you how important it is to introduce people to tshuva. Once I told you the story about Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan was an Emorah. Emoraim came after the Tanaim. He was a very, very handsome man. He was swimming once in the Jordan River, and from the other side of the bank there was this guy by the name Resh Lakish. And Resh Lakish was the head of the robbers at this time, gangster. He sees Rabbi Yochanan from far. Rabbi Yochanan was a very handsome man. He thought he's a woman. He jumps all the way from one bank to the other bank of the Jordan River. He had so much power to come close to Rabbi Yochanan. And then he sees it's a man. Rabbi Yochanan sees that he has so much strength. He tells him, "Chelach la'oraita." You're so strong, your strength should go to the Torah. And Resh Lakish tells him, "Yofiach lanashim, your beauty is supposed to go to women. Why you such a beautiful man?" So Rabbi Yochanan tells him, "If you are going to learn Torah, you're going to make tshuva, I'm going to introduce you to my sister. That's even more nicer than me." Wow, that's a nice offer, right? Also olam hazeh, also olam haba, why not? He accepts. They said the minute they accepted and he wanted to go to the Arab bank to get back his clothing, he couldn't do it anymore. Physically, you become weak, you become tired, because the burden of the Torah is hard. But spiritually, you become very strong from the Torah. But that was the story over there. How come Rabbi Yochanan offers him his sister? To Rosh HaShodadim, he's the head of the gangsters. Hello? You want to make Mishu Chazav Tshuva, you're going to give him his daughter? Another example like that. It says about Rabbi Tarfon. He used to swear that if he says something wrong, if something not to say, God forbid his kids are going to die if he says something wrong. And it's true that his kids died, it says. So once Rabbi, okay, the one that wrote the Mishnah, he asked, does this Rabbi Tarfon has any other kids left? They said 2 daughters. And from one of them she had a son. So boys he didn't have, but a grandson from a daughter he had. But he was not a good boy. He was making a lot of sins, too much into adultery and all kind of other stuff. People didn't look at him. People didn't consider him. So Rabbi calls him. He tells him that if he's going to make tshuva, okay, he's going to give him his daughter. How are you going to? You're such a low man. How are you promising? Did you ask your daughter? Did you ask your sister? How do you offer such a thing?
Because the woman has the power.
Huh?
The woman has the power.
יפה, כל הכבוד בaka. So what is the example that they lean on? Famous example that you know. When Yaakov went to meet Esau, he put Dinah, his daughter, in a cage. In a box. He didn't want his brother to see her. So he hid her. He was hiding her so that he's not going to see her. And they say, you were trying to prevent your brother to make tshuva? He was punished. How he was punished? His daughter was taken by Shechem. It's very strong. It's very strong because who's going to do such a thing today? But still, Rabbi Yochanan learned it from here, and this is why he offered his sister. But from the other side, once he offered his sister to Resh Lakish, you know what happened to Resh Lakish? He became, from being the head of the robbers, such a negative man, he became the Bar Plugda, the one that learns Chavruta with Rabbi Yochanan. He became such a big rabbi.
After how many years?
Huh?
After how many
It took
years?
time. Well, once he took upon himself the responsibility, he's going to make tshuva. Rabbi Yochanan sat with him and learned with him and taught him.
Did she get married years later, or she get married?
I don't know exactly the details, but they got married and he became a very, very big rabbi. It says in one point that even that we'll learn "Numa kocho shel tshuva," the strong power of tshuva. We learn from this Resh Lakish, that was Rosh Hashanah, the head of the robbers. That at the same day it says that he died. So his other two friends that were robbers died also that same day. They all go to heaven. So Hashem takes Resh Lakish with honor to heaven, and these two gangsters to hell. They come to Hashem and says, "That's not fair. We were friends. We were eating from the same thing, or robbing people and enjoying the same. That's not fair." He said, "Yeah, but he made tshuva. You didn't make tshuva." He said, "Okay, so we want to make tshuva." No, tshuva you make only until you die. In your lifetime. After your death, you cannot make tshuva. And a lot of other things we learn from Resh Lakish. We spoke once about him. And so one of the rabbis says something interesting. It says that in the prayers of Rosh Hashanah, we keep saying, "Chusana ve'al titalam Hashem, please have mercy on us and don't ignore us. Please forgive us. Please give us, grant us all the 9 years that we ask from Hashem. We're asking so many things from Hashem. Chusana ve'al titalam." And Hashem tells him, Hashem answers us back, "I gave you in the Torah a mitzvah of once you're going to see an ox of your neighbor, a sheep of your neighbor, of any other object, you see that it's lost, Hashev teshivem. You are not allowed to ignore it. Yeah, once you're going to do this mitzvah, I'm going to do this mitzvah also." As we're coming now closer to, and we're in Chodesh Elul, coming closer to Rosh Hashanah, what we need to do now? What do we have to do now? We want Hashem to grant us a new, good, blessed year, right? We have a lot of requests what we want, and we want Hashem also to forgive us and to start with a new page. But in order for Him to start a new page for us, we have to do something towards Hashem also. And Chodesh Elul, there's a lot of ramazim for Chodesh Elul. One of them is here. It says Ish, initials, Ish, Lere'eu, Umatanot, Le'evyonim is initials Elul. Ish Lere'eu, Matanot Le'evyonim means you have to care for one another, give charity, help needies, return back loss, care about his belongings. All these are all in this mitzvah. And once, hopefully, we're going to care about his whatever our friends. And this is when Hashem opens His heart and also, in a way, wants to help us too. It says in Yeshayahu, פרק כ"ז, והיה ביום ההוא, ייתקע בשופר גדול, in the end of the days, when redemption happens, there's going to be a big blowing of shofar. ובאו העובדים מארץ אשור והנידחים בארץ מצרים. All the lost people are going to come, and it says Eretz Ashur. Eretz Ashur years ago used to be Babylon. Eretz Mitzrayim is Egypt, נכון? But doesn't really talk only about Ashur and Egypt of those days. It's interesting how they explain it. That Ashur represents countries that people feel happy in there. Osher and Ashur are the same words. Osher in Hebrew means happiness. It's comfortable there, living in America. It's comfortable, it's happiness, it's good, it's calm, or at least the authorities are not sitting on our neck and as opposed to other country that's like a Mitzrayim. What is Mitzrayim in Hebrew? Mitzrayim means Mitzrim. They limit you to very narrow paths. They don't let you go. They don't let you do stuff. Mitzrayim represents countries that Jews live there, and it's very hard for them. A lot of sorrows, a lot of problems, a lot of troubles. Not easy. They limit them. They chase after them. It's not easy for the Jews over there. And when the redemption will come, people will come from both Ashur, which is happiness in a way, and Mitzrayim, which is sorrow and trouble. And sometimes because of being happy and comfortable, people are nidachim and ovdim, they are lost and they're scattered all over because of all the goodness that you have. Because it's so comfortable, so people may, God forbid, let's say, convert their religion to other religions. And sometimes because it's so hard, right, like in Muslim countries or somewhere, so people convert, their belief, their religion to other religions. So all these lost people from all these type of countries are going to go back to Yerushalayim, it says. It also says that Ashur is from the word to look, to watch, to Ashur, the shur, habitu, look, from the word look. That their emunah, their faith is weak, is not so strong. They're lost, they wander because their emunah is not so strong. This is the exile of the mind. And Mitzrayim represents all the desires of this world. When Yosef went to Mitzrayim, they knew that he's not going to come. He's not going to stay there. Why? Because they knew this is Ervat Haaretz. All the desires of the world is there in Egypt. Okay, the most tumah, the most contaminated place. Most materialism over there this is where they were. So the perfection of the Geulah, of the redemption, will be when somebody is complete in his knowledge, with true belief, and when somebody overcomes his midot, his qualities, and he fights against his Yetzer Hara, against his even inclination and his desires. There was this man by the name Ur, it's a true story, a religious man that lives in Florida. Once went to a store that sell cheap things, lost things that were not claimed by people. People lost them and were not taking them back from airplanes. It's unbelievable how many people lose so many of their objects in airplanes. Cell phones, personal belongings, cameras people leave. So he went to this kind of store. He wanted to buy some cheap cell phones. And instead of these cheap cell phones, he sees a number of bags of talit and tefillin that people have left in airplanes. Now, a bag of talit and tefillin could be very expensive. It's more than, I don't know how much it cost. Could be $1,500, could be whatever. And they sell it there for $45. He was shocked. They didn't know what's the value of this stick and tefillin. So what he did, he went back home. He bought all this stuff. He went back home. He posted on his Facebook these pictures and the talit and his name and everything, and posted it. It's unbelievable. Within I don't know how many, an hour or two, he got 2,000 responses. And he posted a picture, okay, and this one knows these initials, and this one knows this person. He was able to return 6 of the 7 that he bought. He was able to return. It's unbelievable how many people, and every bag of talit has its own story. Once an old grandfather gave it as a present, and once this, and once that. It's a very nice thing when you can get back a lost thing. Aaron Vaknin passed away many years ago in Israel. He used to gather children in Jerusalem every Shabbat afternoon and read with them Tehillim, give them all kind of candies and sweets, and tell them stories about the Pasha, about great tzaddikim. And once he told this story that a man found, a very, very poor man, found a very, very expensive gold chain, gold necklace. And he declared, of course, that he found this and this, and he's looking the whole year, he's waiting for people to announce, to claim it. Nobody came the whole year. At the end of the year, somebody comes and tells him, yeah, it was mine, I lost it, blah, 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 and he gave it to him. I mean, before he gives it to him, he says, wait. He goes, he buys some snacks, some chips, some bread with, with herrings. This used to be their food. And he makes a whole big suda, invites 10 men, and talking about this mitzvah that he's about to do. What is this mitzvah? He found this lost, a whole year he kept it, and only one, now somebody comes and people look at him and tell him, oh, you're crazy. So what's the big deal? Why have to make a suda because of that? He says, I saw, it says in the Gemara, Masechet something here, that one, Masechet Shabbat, that Abaye, when he used to see Talmid Chacham that was making a shiur Shas, he was reading the whole Shas, finishing the whole Shas, right? He used to make a whole big suda, and he used to make a celebration and make it a Yom Tov and making a whole big thing. I also today finished a mitzvah for the whole year. I was keeping it, holding it, pending, would I be able to make this mitzvah or no? Now that I found that I am able to make this mitzvah, I'm very happy I'm making this suda. So let me finish with one very, very important story. There was this Rab Avam, let's say. He was a very, very big educator. He used to teach in a yeshiva. And he used to be a very good teacher. He used to spend time with the students and help them out and talk to them. But for some reason, with his own son, Aaron, he didn't get along. He didn't want to talk to him. He didn't understand him. The son, Aaron felt like his father, I don't know, threatens him or doesn't understand him or is on top of him too much. He didn't understand him. He didn't get along with him. This Aaron had a friend, and his older brother Yoni, his older brother somehow found the path to his heart. He was able to talk, and he would listen to him. He would open up to him, this Aaron, to Yoni, open up to him and talk to him about all what bothers him and how he doesn't get along with his father and this and that. And Yoni would sit and learn with him and talk to him and take him out here and there, and spend some time with him. The father was so grateful to this Yoni that is taking care so much of his own son, that later on, when this boy was in Shidduchim, he helped him out, he found him a good Shidduch, he was very happy with him. So, it says that the Yoni, he got married, he has his own kids, and turned out that with his own son, didn't get along too. No guarantees with education, didn't get along. Who come to help him? That Aaron, that years ago, he was the one that helped him. He was the one that was able to talk now to this Yoni's son. What do I try to say? It's nice to see also that when you help others, you get it back. But we do this mitzvah because it says so. As we said before, Hashem tells, Lo tit'alam, don't ignore. If you don't ignore, I don't ignore you. Hashem will give us, grant us a happy and healthy New Year with all the blessings in the world. Amen. Thank you. Questions?